Hello there, cheeky potatoes. It's Raeesah here, and if you're new to my channel, I'm just explaining some fitness tips, but this video is just general tips about the gym, and maybe when you're a beginner and things that you might just need to know in general. So yeah, I'm going to start now, and I hope you enjoy it, and if you did, please like the video, subscribe so you know when my next videos are coming, and yeah, I really hope that you enjoy and find it helpful what I'm going to tell you. I would really love you to leave a comment, because I just want to know if this is helpful, because obviously I'm spending a lot of time explaining things that I would have loved for someone to explain to me, and I just want to know if you find it helpful or not. And I just like to know who's actually watching my videos. The first tip is don't overtrain. So you might think, yeah, I need to do, like I explained in my last video, I do 3 full body workouts a week. Some people might think they might need to do that 6 to 7 days a week. You actually don't. You need time for your body to recover, because basically what's happening is every time you work out, the reason why you feel sore is because your muscles they're tearing, and it's called micro tears when you get tears in your muscles, and that's how you're actually building the muscle. So the reason why everyone goes on about protein is going to rebuild the fibers, but when it rebuilds the fibers, it kind of creates, it's a bit think of it as a bit like a glue or cement, but it's making your muscles bigger every time. But yeah, every time you work out, you need that time for your muscles to repair, and that's why you get it's called delayed onset muscle soreness, or DOMS, which you then can have 24 to 48 hours after a workout. And I know for me, definitely on the second day of not working out, so sometimes I used to take a 2-day rest, or I still do actually, I think, yeah, and that's where my soreness is the worst. So also in between that, you might not want to do a full body workout, but doing something like cardio in between on those days, or yoga, or just something where you're lightly active is going to help, and that's called active recovery. That's really going to help your muscles not be as sore, and it's just going to keep your metabolism a bit higher, which is great everyone wants a high metabolism. But yeah, it's really good to still move around on those days, and you're not going to feel as sore from that as well. The next tip for you is don't, when you're actually in the gym, don't piss around. When you're in the gym, don't mess around. So yeah, you can take mini breaks, and between some exercises you might need a 1 to 2 minutes, or mine's a strength-based program, so I take a 3 minutes rest in between each set. But if you think, right, I'm ready to go, then you go, as long as you can knock out your 10 reps, 12 reps, whatever it is. Don't mess around, because you're there maybe 1 to 2 hours out of your day to do your workout, and when your results aren't as good, and you know that you've not worked as hard, then you're going to be disappointed. So work as hard as you can, really, and yeah, it's only a tiny amount out of that day that you're in the gym. So I would just recommend just carry on and get your workout done, because that's the best way. Nobody, if you don't push your body, it's not going to, it needs to be uncomfortable for it to become easier. Anything that's hard isn't ever going to become easier if you don't ever do it or finish it. So the next tip is that you might want to take track of your progress. So if you've, what I think would be quite cute is that if you made maybe a little progress book, and maybe took one photo once a week in the same outfit, and wrote down like your measurements, so your main measurements like hips or like your waist, and just anything that you really like, however much detail you want to go into, and maybe your weight as well. But don't forget, with the scales, it doesn't show you how much muscle you've put on or how much fat that you've lost. Maybe try and find, if you really want to know in greater detail and you have the money for it, try and find, if your own gym that you've just joined doesn't have it, where you can get a body composition scan done from. And if you do find that out, then you can go maybe to that place. I only have one done like every 3 months, and it cost me £2.50. It's called Body Track Scan. But I think there's a few different ones out there, but as long as you keep it consistent. But if you don't have the money for that, then I would definitely recommend like maybe writing down measurements and write, like I said, like do a little logbook. But you'll definitely know anyway if you've improved by when your strength is improving and increasing. Because that's just the best way to measure and how fit you're feeling as well. The next tip that I have for you is just make sure that you do your own research, a lot of research, because you might be doing something like wrong that's causing you like it's costing you a lot of, so you might be putting in a lot of effort into something, but if you make sometimes tiny adjustments to your exercises, it can make it like get you better results. You're actually working out what you should be working out as well. So yeah, keep an eye on that one. And also with research, the best way that I found was watching like YouTube videos of bodybuilders, because bodybuilders, what they are, it doesn't mean that they're bald men with like massive bodies. There's also like categories for women, and it's called bikini, where it's like how you can kind of look more natural and not too muscly, but kind of more equal all over your whole body. And what bodybuilders do is they prepare for one day to compete against other people of who has like a better like body, so basically who's built more muscle and less fat. And for that one day they will like change their diet to maybe lower calories, higher protein, which is, if you've ever heard the term like someone being on a cut, and that's what it is. They're cutting the calories, but they're on a higher protein, which will help them lose fat. But this result is not sustainable, and they will also probably do aerobic cardio every day to help towards the caloric, like the overall calorie intake for the day. So doing that cardio will lower that, but also like to build the muscle, they might not be actually building as much as what they would normally, because their strength might not be as high, because they're not on as many carbs or as many calories. The other tip is, don't get annoyed if you can't pick up like how to eat healthy straight away. It doesn't matter. Get used to going to the gym, and you'll get used to the foods that are better for you, and it doesn't happen overnight. I've been training for nearly 2 years now, and yeah, you still learn new things all the time. You learn how everyone has different body, and you learn like what's best for your body. Some people might need more calories than they think as well. But definitely I would say I do something called If It Fits Your Macros. So I track my protein, carbs, fats and carbohydrates. So that's a really good way to know. But for some people that might not work. They might need more calories than that, but they won't know until like they've played around with it for a bit. And also after your first year of training, people might find it a lot harder to lose fat because your body is used to it now, and you need to still make sure you're challenging it all the time. Another tip is stick to exercises for at least I would say 6 weeks. Your body needs to get used to the exercise. You're not going to get as many results if you keep changing things up a bit. Like yeah, if your body can't get used to it, you can't then put the weights up and then like build the strength from that. So don't get impatient with it, just try and stick with it. And if you want to change things up a bit, then I would just suggest like doing maybe fitness classes in between that. Like I said, active recovery, maybe you can do some gyms hold fitness classes, and I would just say do something like that to stop you from getting bored. But yeah, like with strength training, hypertrophy, both muscle building, like resistance training overall to build muscle, and that is really going to help you lose fat, change your whole body composition, change your shape completely. It's not going to make you look like a man. If you ever need to go into an area with lots of guys in that area, like they don't actually know what they're doing, because I know that most of them, they're just silly people, then yeah, then just do it, because it's like if you're at school, you don't know what you're doing when you get there. You just have to learn, and you will learn in the gym as well, and you'll get used to things, and you'll just start to look up, notice what other exercises people are doing as well, and you can kind of like, you will just start to learn like, oh yeah, I know what that exercise that person is doing is, but I don't know if I've missed any tips out there. I probably have missed out some tips, but don't get annoyed if you're not seeing results, because you will see them, and just make sure you're like, if you're really not sure of anything, then research it. Don't overtrain, because that can stop you from building your muscles. So overtrain would be, like I said, 6 to 7 times a week, the same body part all the time. Overtraining isn't doing like 3 full body workouts and getting really sore muscles. That is not overtraining. So thank you for watching my video, and if you enjoyed the video, then please let me know in the comments down below, and if you have any suggestions of anything else that you would like to see. But thank you for watching, cheeky potatoes, and see you next time.